Summary of Sign of the Slayer, written by Sharina. Chapter 1. The bus rumbled through the night, the darkness outside punctuated by occasional flashes of distant streetlights. Raven felt a strange mix of exhaustion and restlessness settling over her. The pulsating beats of the impromptu drumming and the low hum of conversations formed a background symphony that reverberated within the confines of the bus. Her AirPods were still nestled in her ears, but the soothing music no longer offered the escape it once did. The unsettling growl lingered in her mind, disrupting any attempt at finding solace. As the bus continued its journey, Raven couldn't shake off the feeling that something extraordinary, something beyond the realms of her understanding, was unfolding. She stole a glance at Deidre, who sat beside her, oblivious to the internal turmoil Raven was grappling with. Deidre was engrossed in a conversation with another band member, a joyful smile illuminating her face. Despite the camaraderie around her, Raven felt an inexplicable loneliness creep in, a solitude that went beyond the confines of physical space. Closing her eyes, Raven tried to concentrate on her breathing, attempting to dispel the disquiet that clung to her like a persistent shadow. In the rhythmic rise and fall of her chest, she sought a semblance of calm, a sanctuary from the tumultuous events of the night. The memory of the halftime performance played back in her mind, the blinding stadium lights, the deafening cheers, and the orchestrated chaos of the band. The relentless taunts from the crowd had transformed into a distant echo, but the unsettling encounter with Kendall lingered like an uninvited guest. As she navigated through the maze of her thoughts, Raven felt an unusual warmth in her hands, as if an invisible force was coursing through her veins. She flexed her fingers, trying to dispel the sensation, but it persisted, an unspoken reminder of the inexplicable changes within her. Opening her eyes, Raven noticed that the bus had plunged into an area shrouded in darkness, the only illumination coming from the occasional glint of stars in the night sky. The road stretched ahead, an uncharted path leading them away from the familiar grounds of the football stadium. Deidre nudged Raven, pulling her attention back to the present. "You okay?" Deidre asked, concern etched on her face. Raven managed a weak smile, masking the internal turmoil. "Yeah, just a bit tired. I'll be fine." As the bus traveled further into the night, Raven's mind swirled with fragments of thoughts and emotions, like pieces of a puzzle waiting to be assembled. She couldn't escape the feeling that her connection to the events of the night ran deeper than the surface level of band rivalries and halftime performances. A sudden jolt interrupted her contemplation as the bus slowed to a stop. Raven looked around, realizing they had arrived at a roadside rest area. Dr. Jeffries, the band director, stood up from his seat, his commanding presence instantly drawing the attention of the band members. "Listen up, everyone," Dr. Jeffries announced, his voice cutting through the hum of the bus. "We're making a brief pit stop. Stretch your legs, grab a snack, but be back on the bus in 10 minutes. We've got a long journey ahead." The band members, still buzzing with residual energy from the performance, filed out of the bus, their chatter filling the night air. Raven joined the exodus, stepping into the cool night, her senses heightened by the solitude of the rest area. As she ambled towards the vending machines, Raven noticed the familiar faces of her bandmates engaging in animated conversations. The events of the night seemed to fade into the background as the camaraderie of the band took center stage. Deidre caught up with Raven, a bag of chips in hand. "Do you think they have anything decent in those machines?" Raven shrugged, scanning the limited options. "Probably just the usual vending machine fare. But I could use a snack." They selected a few snacks and retreated to a bench, away from the bustle of the band members. The rest area was shrouded in a serene stillness, a stark contrast to the spirited chaos of the halftime show. Deidre bit into a chip, her eyes scanning the surroundings. "You know, for a rest area, this place is eerily quiet." Raven nodded in agreement, her gaze wandering to the darkened expanse beyond the rest area. The distant glow of the vending machines cast elongated shadows on the asphalt, adding to the enigmatic ambience. A growl rumbled through the night, more distinct than before. Raven's senses heightened, her ears attuned to the unsettling sound. Deidre, engrossed in her snack, seemed oblivious to the anomaly. That's not a jackal or a bear, Raven muttered, her eyes fixated on the shadows. Deidre looked up, her expression shifting from nonchalance to mild concern. What are you talking about? Ignoring Deidre's question, Raven's attention was drawn to a pair of glowing yellow-gold eyes in the darkness. The same eyes she had glimpsed earlier, now more pronounced in the quiet of the rest area. A sensation akin to the warmth in her hands surged within Raven. It whispered of a connection, a link between her and whatever lurked in the shadows. The growl intensified, reverberating through the night, and Raven felt a strange calm settle over her. The rest area transformed into an otherworldly stage, and Raven, guided by an unspoken instinct, stood up. Deidre watched her, perplexed, as Raven moved towards the edge of the rest area, where the darkness met the glow of the vending machines. The band members, oblivious to the unfolding scene, continued their merriment, unaware of the mysterious presence lurking in the periphery. Raven's hands tingled with an energy that defied explanation, and she extended them towards the darkness. The yellow-gold eyes approached, their glow flickering like distant stars. The growl ceased, replaced by an eerie silence that enveloped the rest area. Raven felt a profound connection to the unseen entity, a communion that transcended the boundaries of the tangible world. A figure emerged from the shadows, its form indistinct yet captivating. Raven discerned a silhouette, a shape that seemed to meld with the night. The band members, sensing a shift in the atmosphere, fell silent, their attention drawn to the unfolding spectacle. Dr. Jeffries, the authoritative figure who had led the band through countless performances, now observed with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. The band members, once bound by the common pursuit of musical excellence, now stood united in uncertainty. The figure, bathed in an ethereal glow, stepped into the dim light of the vending machines. Raven's breath caught as she recognized the familiar contours of a majestic creature, a creature that existed in the realm between reality and folklore. A wolf, sleek and regal, its fur a blend of midnight black and silvery gray. Its eyes, the source of the enchanting glow, bore into Raven's soul with an intelligence that transcended the animal kingdom. The air crackled with an energy that echoed the unspoken language of connection. The band members, their expressions ranging from awe to disbelief, watched as the wolf approached Raven. Dr. Jeffries, a man of logic and reason, took a step forward, his voice resonating with authority. What is this? What's happening? Raven, her hand still extended, felt a surge of confidence. It's something beyond our understanding. But it's not a threat. The wolf, its gaze never leaving Raven, emitted a low, melodic hum. The band members, caught in the mystical aura of the moment, listened in awe as the hum resonated with an unseen harmony. Deidre, her initial confusion replaced by wonder, whispered, "This is incredible." "What is it, Raven?" "I don't know," Raven admitted, her voice a blend of certainty and curiosity. "But I think it's here for a reason. And I'm connected to it somehow." As if in response to Raven's words, the wolf inclined its head, acknowledging the unspoken bond. Dr. Jeffries, his skepticism momentarily suspended, watched the scene unfold with a contemplative expression. The air shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and Raven sensed a purpose, a shared destiny intertwined with the wolf's presence. The bus, the halftime show, and the unsettling growls, they were all pieces of a grander puzzle, leading to this moment of communion between the mundane and the mystical. The wolf circled Raven, its fur brushing against her fingertips. A surge of energy passed between them, as if an ancient understanding unfolded in the quiet of the night. The band members, witnesses to the extraordinary, felt a collective sense of awe and reverence. The wolf, having conveyed its message, retreated into the shadows, the glow of its eyes fading into the night. The band members, released from the enchantment, exchanged bewildered glances. Dr. Jeffries, the voice of reason, finally spoke. "We may not comprehend what just happened," he said, his tone measured, "but I believe that each of you has a part to play in this journey. We can choose to embrace the mystery or dismiss it as mere coincidence. The choice is yours." The bus, once a vessel hurtling through the night, now held a community bound by an unspoken pact with the mystical. Raven, her connection to the wolf etched into her very being, returned to her seat with a newfound sense of purpose. As the bus resumed its journey, the band members grappled with the revelation that their lives were intricately woven into a tapestry of magic and music. The halftime show, the growls in the night, and the encounter with the wolf were but chapters in a story that unfolded beyond the boundaries of the expected. Chapter 2. The bus accident shattered the night, chaos raining down in the form of instrument cases and the terrified screams of its passengers. Raven, dazed and disoriented, found herself in the midst of a nightmare. Deidre, her friend, clutched her bleeding forehead, a victim of the falling debris. The atmosphere inside the bus became a cacophony of fear and confusion. In the dim light, Raven realized something was terribly wrong. A guttural growl reverberated, and a shadowy figure loomed outside the bus. As she looked closer, the impossible became real, a pale-skinned man with crimson irises and elongated fangs, a creature that could only be described as a vampire. Panic set in as Raven tried to comprehend the surreal scene. Dr. Jeffries, attempting to intervene, fell victim to the vampire's brutality. The air was thick with fear as the creature feasted on the unfortunate teacher's blood. A command snapped Raven back to reality. Dr. Jeffries, in his final moments, urged the students to escape through the back exit. The urgency in his voice cut through the chaos, and Raven hesitated only briefly before grabbing Deidre and following the desperate rush of students. Outside, the horror continued. A mysterious man in a suit demonstrated supernatural abilities, effortlessly dispatching vampires with telekinetic force. Raven, propelled by a newfound strength, took on a vampire herself, realizing her physical prowess surpassed the ordinary. The situation escalated as Raven and the man in the suit faced off against the vampires. A tense exchange revealed the existence of Sakara clans and the dangerous creatures that belonged to them. Raven's abilities unfolded, leaving her astonished and questioning her own identity. Amidst the chaos, Deidre's fate hung in the balance. Raven's attention oscillated between the ongoing battle and her injured friend. A moment of distraction allowed a vampire to breach the bus, putting Deidre in immediate danger. Driven by a surge of determination, Raven confronted the vampire, engaging in a physical struggle that showcased her newfound strength. In the process, she discovered a mysterious transformation occurring in her hands, silver and gold patterns etched onto her skin. A connection to ancient symbols and elements became apparent, leaving Raven to grapple with the unexplained changes within her. As the battle raged on, Raven's clash with the vampire intensified. In a moment of desperation, she managed to repel the creature, saving Deidre, but also unraveling more questions about her evolving abilities. The man in the suit, referred to as Pretty Boy, acknowledged Raven's unexpected strength while cautioning her about the dangers that lay ahead. Returning to the bus, Raven found Deidre in a dire state. The girl who had been her pillar of support was now clinging to life, her throat slashed by the vampire's claws. Raven, confronted with the harsh reality of loss, refused to accept the inevitable. Deidre's final moments unfolded in a heartbreaking exchange, memories of their shared past flashing before Raven's eyes. In the face of grief, Raven vowed to understand her newfound powers and confront the supernatural threats that had disrupted their lives. The narrative delves into the fusion of horror, fantasy, and personal growth as Raven grapples with loss, self-discovery, and the complexities of her emerging abilities. With Deidre's death serving as a catalyst, Raven embarks on a journey that promises to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural world and her place within it.